Welcome back. Welcome back for some more, Eminem. Can never have too many M&Ms on the plate. Just gotta keep going. So, all right. So we have a couple of people that have requested us, a couple shout outs. So we got Jordan Bailey 9191, Flugger Boy, Nick Pierce, Alex Granley, and Adam McMillan, amongst others that have suggested that we do this. Someone had mentioned to me that this is a song about Proof. It's like a tribute. And there's, I guess, one of the original band members of D12, I think, had a beef with Proof, and there was like some tension. And I think it pissed off Eminem. But then there's a reconciliation after Proof passed. And so there's some of that dynamic here. Thank you for that. I appreciate a little bit of background. I love it to kind of know what I'm going into, but I also don't like spoilers either. But that was a perfect explanation to me of some of the dynamics here before I go in. It's like, okay, that gives me some, preconceived notion as far as what the song's going to be about, but it's not going to give a whole lot away, right? So thank you guys for the suggestion on this one, but let's delay no longer. Here we go.
They ask me am I okay, they ask me if I'm happy. Are they asking me that because of the shit that's been thrown at me? Or am I just a little snappy and they genuinely care? Duty, most of my life it's just been me and you there, and I continuously stare at pictures of you. I never got to say I love you.
Say I love you to your loved ones. Don't let it go to where it's going to be too late. So he's saying, hey, it's like, are people really concerned about how I'm really doing? Is it just, true concern, or is it not?
You there, and I continuously stare at pictures of you. I never got to say I love you as much as I wanted to, but I do. Yeah, I say it now when you can't hear me. What the fuck good does that do me?
Right. Life's too short to live with regret. I have regret. It's story time, right? When my dad was dying, he was at a nursing facility, and he was Alzheimer's, kind of slipping. Was able to recognize me for the most part toward the end, but there was a time where I'd be driving home from work and I'm kind of tired. It's like, should I get off on First Street? And head on over to see him. I was like, oh no, I'll see him tomorrow. I'll go visit him tomorrow, right? And there's no tomorrow. My sister that morning had sent me a Marco Polo, cool app. You should check it out on the App Store. It's like sending each other, video messages back and forth, Marco Polo. So she sent me Marco that morning of his death, and she said, yeah, the facility called, and he's kind of like a little congested. Guess nothing to really worry about. And that night he was gone at 6:00 in the evening. And it was like that. And it was in December of 2019, just before the pandemic with COVID. But I do believe that, there are a lot of facilities, these nursing care facilities, that had COVID sweeping through and killing a lot of patients. And I think to this day he might have been part of that, but it was fairly sudden. I didn't expect him. I didn't get the opportunity to go see him. I bolted out the door when my sister called me in tears saying, they want to revive him. What should we do? Blah, blah, blah. And so went to rush to see him, but by then he was gone. And now I have that regret on that day of going, gosh, maybe I'll go see him today. Now I'm kind of tired. I'm going to go home and chill or whatever. And that was my last opportunity, right? So I guess we all have that moment of regret, but we have to really also kind of look at it. Like if we have a death of a loved one, I had a viewer say that they had a brother that passed away from suicide, and she couldn't get to him on time. And sadly, she takes some of the blame of herself, and I get it. I get it. I think we all get it, because we always have that what if. If I could have only done this, or I've done that, or if this or if that. The if game can wreck a person. What if? You can't die on that hill. I can't die on that hill. I have to just kind of go, you know what? My dad knows I loved him. He hung in there as long as he could, and sadly he had to die alone, and it's Still kind of gets to me when I'm thinking about it, obviously. So, but with that, let's dive in a little bit further with M. But say I love you to your loved ones.
Now, but somehow I know you're near me, your presence. Oh, I went and dropped some presents off for Easter to them. Two little beautiful boys of yours to try to ease their minds a little. And dog, you never believe this. But Sharonda, actually talk.
Excuse me. I missed the mute that time. Let me go back. I'm sorry I got a bit of a cold. Trying to stay ahead of it. Let me go back. I missed a few during my coughing. Forgive me. Here we go.
Give me your presents. Oh, I went and dropped some presents off for Easter to them. Two little pictures of you. I never got to say I love you as much as I wanted to, but I do. Yeah, I say it now when you can't hear me. What the fuck good does that do me now? But somehow I know you're near me, your presence. Oh, I went and dropped some presents off for Easter to them. Two little beautiful boys of yours to try to ease their minds a little. And dog, you never believe this. But Sharonda actually talks to me now. Jesus and everyone else is just trying to pick up the pieces. Man, how could you touch so many fucking lives and just leave us? They say grievance has a way of affecting everyone different. If it's true, how the fuck I'm supposed to get over you?
Wow. There's a verse in the Bible that says, greater love, there's no greater love than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends, right? And here we have an example of that. He's in honor of proof, going to the kids, bringing them presents during Easter, bringing them some joy in light of losing their daddy, you know, and coming alongside and not just patronizing with lip service or whatever, but he's putting his actions to words. And no greater love is this than a man lay down his life for his friend, to really step up and be that true friend. And here we have another little lesson of what it really means to have a friend like this in your life.
Just trying to pick up the pieces. Man, how could you touch so many fucking lives and just leave us? They say grievance has a way of affecting everyone different. If it's true, how the fuck I'm supposed to get over you? Difficult as it sounds.
Interesting interlude right there. It just stops, like he's composing himself maybe. And I'm wondering if this can some of that might sound like proof. In this tribute song, can someone tell me, because I haven't listened to any real proof content yet, did M in the production of this song, did he perhaps use Proof's music backdrop for this, the beat? Is this a Proof beat or is this an M beat? Because it sounds different to me in style a little bit, and I'm wondering if he's lovingly plagiarized some of Proof's music to interweave into the song. Could someone maybe enlighten me and maybe give me some insight on that? Because it definitely just sounds like this has a bit of a different feel to it, Eminem wise. It doesn't feel Eminem-esque, if you know what I'm saying. Love it. I love it, but I'm just kind of going, something's different. Could this be something that's extracted from Proof's content? I'd love to know that. That'd be really cool if it was, you know? In the it sounded like it might have been Proof.
Duty, that's what we call each other. I don't know where it came from, but it just stuck with us. We was always brothers, never thought about each other's skin colors, till one day we was walking up the block in the...
I love that. 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 Listen.
Never thought about each other's...
Never thought about each other's skin colors.
Till one day we was walking up the block in the summer. It was like 90 degrees. I was catching a sunburn, trying to walk under the trees just to give me some comfort. I'm moaning, I just want to get home, and I look over and your shirt is off. I'm like, you're gonna fry. You're like, no, I want them black, stupid.
Oh, this is his version of story time. I love it. I love it. Oh, I know I'm going to get us some trouble for this, but who cares? I don't care. I really don't. Some of you may not see eye to eye on me on this, and that's okay. That's okay, right? We can all stand by side like he and Proof, irregardless of the color of skin. I love that. I love the fact that he just befriended each other, and M is embracing primarily African-American artwork in rap, and he's made a space for himself in it, but yet he's not seeing black and white. He's just seeing two brothers, two friends, you know? It's when it's contrived, you know, where you have to have certain, you know, I guess affirmative action. It's disingenuous because in affirmative action, it's basically prejudice. It's discrimination based on skin color. And I don't know if I'll ever live to see the day, sadly, that I'll finally be able to kind of like see the day where we can finally see, like the song Ebony and Ivory, sitting side by side together in perfect harmony, right? To where we don't see each other in black and white and yellow and gray and blue and purple, polka dot or any of that kind of stuff, because until we stop talking about race, which I'm already guilty of right now because I'm talking about it, but until we lay that down and stop getting into it and start seeing each other as brothers and sisters in God's creation, made us in his image, who are we to have those prejudices, man? We don't have any choice in what color, race, ethnicity, any of that. We have no control over any of that stuff. And I just love this, man. It's just like, again, he's just very relatable and truthful and honest. It's like he's willing to say it himself. It ain't the skin color, man. I'm just walking trying to stand in the shade and you're sitting there with your shirt off and the sun's like, hey, stupid, I'm black. It's like, oh, of course. You know, it's like, okay. So, but I adore this. I adore this. I adore the continuity that M's kind of going, hey, he's my bro, you know, he's my brother. Who cares about the skin color? We shouldn't be thinking about that stuff. I'm just saying, and I know I'm saying it, but it's so prevalent in our society. I think it's a shame.
It was like 90 degrees. I was catching a sunburn, trying to walk under the trees just to give me some comfort. I'm
hilarious.
I just want to get home, and I
good story time, man.
Your shirt is off. I'm like, you're gonna fry. You're like, no, I want them black, stupid. And black people, they got melatonin in their skin. We don't burn me while my face is glowing, and I feel like I'm on fire. And the entire time you're just laughing at me and snapping at me with your shirt, bastard. And I still have to get you back for that shit. And by the way, them Playboy rings my mother stole from you when they.
And by the way, Playboy rings my brother stone. My mother's stone.
Finally got him back, shit. It must have been at least 16 years ago. Well, I put him in your casket. I'm moving past it. It's still.
I put him in your casket.
Ain't registered yet.
I'm sorry, I have to go back because I don't know what he's referring to about what he put in Proof's casket.
I want them black, stupid, and black people, they got melatonin in their skin. We don't burn me while my face is glowing, and I feel like I'm on fire. And the entire time you're just laughing at me and snapping at me with your shirt, bastard. And I still have to get you back for that shit. And by the way, them Playboy rings my mother stole from you when they finally got them back, shit. It must have been at least 16 years ago. Well, I put them in.
Please. What is he referring to about something that he got back from mom or mother or whatever? Did he put them in the casket? Please, I beg you.
In the skin, we don't burn me while my face face is glowing and I feel like I'm on fire. And the entire time you're just laughing at me and snapping at me with your shirt, bastard. And I still have to get you back for that shit. And by the way, them Playboy rings my mother stole from you when they finally got them back. Shit, it must have been at least 16 years ago. Well,
Playboy rings, maybe like a gold ring that M's mom stole from Proof, maybe for the money or whatever. I don't know, because his mom was pretty whack. I'd love to know the backstory to that story. Step up.
Shit, it must have been at least 16 years ago. Well, I put them in your casket, moving past it. It still ain't registered yet, but you can bet your legacy they'll never forget. The Motor City Motown, hip-hop vet, hip-hop shop dreads. It don't stop there. Yeah, as difficult as it sounds.
Interesting moments to select a musical interlude. It's like cuts off mid-sentence and thought. He's such a Rembrandt. Lyrically, it's just amazing.
And this may sound a little strange, but I'ma tell it. I found a jacket that you left at my wedding. I picked it up to smell it. I wrapped it up in plastic until I put it in glass and hang it up in the hallway so I can always look at it.
Wow. So he found his jacket. What's the first thing he does? He smells it just to connect again. Wow. Wow. Man. Wow. I did the same thing with my dad. Sorry. I got it. I'm good. I'm okay.
And this may sound a little strange, but I'ma tell it. I found a jacket that you left at my wedding. I picked it up to smell it. I wrapped it up in plastic until I put it in glass and hang it up in the hallway so I can always look at it. And as for all of me in D12, we feel like fuck rap. It feels like our general just fucking died in our lap. Shut off all the pages, all the cell numbers have changed our two ways. Or in the trash of some cats, I'll have to find a new way. And I know that it feels like the dreams would die with you today. But the truth is, they're all still here and you ain't. Purple gang, you gotta keep pressing on. Don't ever give up a dream, dog. I got love for you all. And duty, it's true you brought people together who never would have been in the...
Duty. Is that another endearing term for Proof? I don't know. Whew.
A dream, dog, I got love for you all. And duty, it's true you brought people together who never would have been in the same room if it wasn't for you. You were the peacemaker, duty. I know sometimes you were moody, but you hated confrontation and truly hated the feuding. But you was down for yours whenever it came to scrapping. If it had to happen, it had to happen. Believe me, I know you're the one who taught me to throw them boats back on Dresden. From making cars to paintball and getting arrested, to sitting across from each other in cells laughing and jesting. They tried to hit us for fire.
And don't worry, I know I'm seeing some lyrics here that on the closed captioning that aren't right. I'm kind of picking up on some of the content here. So I know some of you are going to say, are you what? You know, it's not a true lyric video. What are you doing? You know, the closed captioning is getting it wrong, but I'm kind of putting it together. There are some words here that are obviously not right.
Back on Dresden, from making cars to paintball and getting arrested, they're sitting across from each other in cells laughing and jesting. They tried to hit us for 5 years for that, no question. I guess them hookers and bums who we shot up didn't show up for court, so we got off on a technicality, left sweating. Me, you, and what's his face? I forgot his fucking name. Shame he even came to your funeral. He betrayed us.
Wow. So this must be you guys are referring to that there was somebody that came to the funeral that he had betrayed our team, our band D12. Can't believe this guy came to the funeral. Okay, let's go.
Team, and if I see him again, I'ma punch him in the fucking face. And that's on Haley J. Whitney Lane, and Elena's name. I let the pistol bang once just to lick a shot in the air for you and pour some liquor out with Obi in the parking lot of 54. Just before we were supposed to get in cars to come and see you.
missing some references on the 54 and all that. Let me just back up just a second because I'd like to ask some clarification on a few things here. So apparently there's some confusion on who he wanted to punch in the face, and apparently M never divulged who that was. Face, that's on Haley J. Whitney's Lane and Elena's name. Maybe he's swearing on their names that he'd punch you in the face, I guess.
At the pistol bang once just to lick a shot in the air for you and pour some liquor out with Obi in the parking lot.
With Obi in the parking lot. I need help there.
But 54 just before,
54 just before we were supposed to get getting
come
cars.
to see you in small, difficult as it sounds.
Interesting. Whew. I was teetering there for a minute. Wow. Totally different production style for M. Different track, different beat, different approach. This is more of a melancholy walk down memory lane, right? And his desire to just let everyone know how much he loves Proof. I just love this. You know, I love it. I'm of course still too new at the game to understand some of the references. It kind of puts me on the back, you know, back of the room, kind of going, oh, what am I doing? You know, trying to make sense of a lot of the stuff. But you can tell all of the regret, all of it. And the beat was different, very repetitive for type of M song. The interludes between seem to be abrupt and come out of nowhere, almost like he's gathering thoughts in each of these segments of musical interlude seems to segue into another thought of what he's reminiscing about. But it's very different. It's a different kind of flow. There's no chorus per se, right? There's no bridge. It's just basically M pouring his heart and his love out for his best friend. And I just think it's just beautiful, you know, and wow. To be able to have a friend like that in your life that you can write this type of bars for, does life get any sweeter?